This is QueueMobile's self-serve kiosk, and this can be configured in a number of ways. Uh, Part of our setup will be customizing the look and feel of it so it's branded towards your organization. But for now, it's just a template. And essentially, what it shows is the wait time and how many folks are in the queue, in all the queues, depending on if you have it set up for a one-stop or a standard queue system. So in this case, it's set up for standard, which means the customer can access multiple queues rather than a single queue. So customer will come up and click on this. It could be on an iPad Pro. It could actually be on a website, a smaller version, essentially this part, as part of your portal. So when the customer clicks through, they'll enter their name, their 10-digit cell number, and if we're configure you for a standard queue, then all your queues under standard setup would show, and the customer can join any of these. In your case, part of the setup that we do, our setup fee actually covers actual coding and modification and customization of the application, unlike most of the competitors where the setup fee actually goes to commission. So what we would do is discuss with you what would be the appropriate public queues. In this case, I would assume would be dog and cat adoption, and then dog maker and dog matchmaker and cat matchmaker. And the adoption process would be internal queues that staff would transfer customers into as part of your workflow. So select a dog. Now we do have an ID field that we can hide, or depending on how you would want to use the system. For example, if you set up the system within the facility, and folks who come in and are shopping for a pet and actually find one, that would make sense for them to join the queue rather than coming in and joining the queue, shopping for a pet, and leaving. So in this case, another flexible option you would have is they can come through, and when they find a pet, they can enter that pet's ID number here as well. Can set it up so they can enter two, and from there they'll be able to, when they join the queue, that information will be sent to the matchmakers. So that's another advantage. And this is just for example, and this is a free-form text field where we could change, like I said, with customization, it wouldn't say services, it might say adoption services, pet ID number here, could be breed, or whatever the questions might be. And typically what we recommend is, rather than having them type something out, because it can be a little bit challenging, is have a drop down of a number of common reasons or drop down questions that they can select. And join the queue. Okay, now they're in the queue. The second part of our kiosk is actually what we call the check-in kiosk, or the check-in component. And so, for example, if we actually put that kiosk online for folks to be able to check in from home, or if we even did it through Acuity, that'd be fine. However, what you want to make sure is that when folks arrive at the facility, that they check in. What will happen, worst case scenario, is that folks put themselves in the queue and they don't show up. And what happens is your staff is summoning them, texting them to come. And if they don't reply L to leave the queue, it creates lag time, and it will also really skew your wait time, especially if you're setting your wait time out, along with your number of people who are in the queue. So if I join the queue afterwards and I'm like number 30, and actually, 6 or 7 people who joined online never showed up, or at the Humane Society, then that's going to create an issue, and you're going to have more walkaways and frustration. So it's really important to have a check-in component, and that's why This we developed for the courts. Now, what you need to do is just sort of ignore anything that has to do with courts and just think about how this would apply to your process, because part of your setup includes taking our technology and making it work for your particular organization. And so, this will, and it won't be difficult either. The courts are a lot more sophisticated. So in this case, folks that have opted in online, here we would have confirm check-in, so that would be online, and then we'd have a walk-in button. So the folks who opted online, they would come here, and there wouldn't be a need for case number, citation number. Um, Now, these fields exist, and if you wanted to use them for something else, you could, but keep it simple, it'd just be the name. And they would enter the name, and since we already collected permission for texting them offline, um, this wouldn't show up in this screen, but if there was other information you did want to collect, that could be here. So for now, I'll just check this and then click check-in. Now, for the courts, this gives details of their violation, but this would just be a confirmation number. It would just come up and say, you're confirmed in their position in the queue, now that they're on site. It then could be this field as well. So now walk-ups who come to the shelter, here they can enter, we'd set up copy so they know what to do. And they'd enter their name. We wouldn't need their date of birth, but for purposes to show you this, I'll need to put it in something. And this might not be reasons, but it might be adoption, whatever you want. That's going to speed up the process, and then it would list sort of what they're there for. So, like you said, licensing, spade, neuter. That could be different breeds, whatever you want to have included in here. If it's adoption specific, that might facilitate the process, because this information will then populate their queue. And again, all this is to expedite your workflow rather than just create a virtual work line, virtual waiting line. So this is court stuff, but it basically works the same way. Now, if they're walk-ins, this is where we want to collect their number and be able to text them, and then click walk-in. They're in the queue.